So CloudWatch events, very quickly, you can either have a schedule, so you can define rate or cron job to schedule events in CloudWatch, so little notifications you would trigger on demand, or you can have an event pattern in CloudWatch events, and that will basically allow you to define rules, such as if a service in AWS is doing something, we are going to trigger an event if that event matches the rule. So for example, one example I like to have is, for example, code pipeline state changes is a good one for this. So we can detect code pipeline state changes using CloudWatch events and then trigger maybe Lambda functions or send a message to SQS, SNS, Kinesis. I mean, you can get different integration points if you wanted to. When you have CloudWatch events, as an output, the event it creates is a small JSON document, and it will give a little bit of information about the change. Okay, so that's it for CloudWatch event. Let's just quickly look at the UI. So on the left-hand side, we have events. And here we can create events. So let's just create a rule. And so we can either choose a event pattern or a schedule. So if we choose a schedule, we can say, okay, we would like to create a event every 5 minutes or every 5 hours or whatever we want. And you can set that number to whatever you want as well. Or you could set up a cron expression. So if you're familiar with cron expressions, you can set up one here. And then an event that comes out of it will look like this JSON right here. We'll say, hey, the detailed type is that it is a scheduled event. Now for the targets, you can define the targets you want to go to. So you can say, and there's a lot of different targets as you can see, code build, code pipeline, EC2, Kinesis, Lambda, SNS, SQS. So you can pretty much integrate AWS CloudWatch events with anything you want. We'll just remove this for now. And so let's do something a bit more fun. For event pattern, we're able to look at some services. So as you can see, there's a list of services right here that we can react to. So let's choose code pipeline because it's a popular one. And we want to respond to a pipeline execution state change. And we want to have a state specific to be failed. So anytime my code pipeline fails, which is this event pattern right here, and I could copy this to the clipboard or even edit it if I wanted to add some more details. Anytime my code pipeline state changes to failed, then what do I want to do? I want to add a target, and I will say maybe write to an SNS queue, and I will just say alarm triggered this one topic. We don't need to create a new one for this one. And we can configure the inputs to either give you the matched events, so to pass the entire event that was matched into the alarm, which is fine, but you also have different optimization or settings if you wanted to modify that event. And so that looks good. We'll click on configure details. We'll name our rule, so call it code pipeline failures. And it's enabled. We'll create a rule, and that's it. We have our code pipeline failure rule right here. And so there's two other rules that are already created, it turns out. There is a code commit notification. So that was auto-created by code commit for the repository created. Basically, if we look at it, anytime there is a pull request state change, a comment on pull request, or a comment on commit, they will basically trigger an SNS topic. And the other rule that existed from before was a code commit repository state change when a reference was updated or created, such as a branch, and it was in master. So that's it for CloudWatch events. And basically you can set up as many rules as you want, and they allow you to have reactivity in your AWS infrastructure. And as you could see, you could set up many different sources for these rules and many different targets as well.